Alright, so here's another help vid. It's for I'm making them because a user at Shining Rock Software forum, the official forum for the game, he's giving up. The town's imploded on him, so he's pretty much done with the game, I guess. But I'm hoping, maybe he'll watch this vid and pick up a thing or two, or some other people can. And this vid is for a new player that's, struggling. Experienced players probably won't learn much from it. I don't know, they might. Experienced players probably could look at it and say, there's things going on that you're doing wrong. Hey, I'm okay with that. There probably are some things I'm gonna be doing wrong, but I think I can offer some insight for a struggling player, so I'm gonna try. Alright, first of all, specifically on his city right here, what's going on is a couple of years ago he accepted some nomads. You can see it right there. That's a big spike. Spike in children, spike in adults. Well, his production last year was pretty, you might as well say about a little over 4,000 in the hole. So, that's bad. To make matters worse, that's an easily correctable situation. To make matters worse, though, he's throwing up some stone houses. So what we got is a small problem becoming a major problem. That's going to even expand things faster. So we'll disable them. I'm not going to go into details about efficiency again on farms, sizes, the amount of people working them. I'm putting everything on one. There's number crunchers that hang around the forums. There's guys that want, the most efficient build they can get, and you want to learn that stuff if you want to build a high population town. But this isn't a high population town. This is a low population town. This is, it's not something you need to worry about. Does it help to know these things? And can you, would it help, stay out of trouble and stuff? Yeah, sure, it would. But it's not the reason the city imploded. It might be a small part of the reason, but it's not a big problem. Pastures I'm going to, people. I'll show you one in a second. As you can see up here, dang it. He's really never had a large surplus, so surpluses have two effects. They can hide problems, but they can also buffer problems, so you have time to catch your mistakes or catch problems arising. So they are good and they are bad. I stay away from them. Huge surpluses, it just helps me. I want to localize. I want to pinpoint what's going on. So, yeah. So he's got some buildings going on. He has 18 laborers. That's actually, that's actually a pretty low number. he's got. I've already played this map a little bit, so I know he's got problems. But up here, as you can see, he he. This is a huge area that he selected to um, resource removal. We're going to cancel all that. This right here is pretty much a death blow when you're in trouble. You don't want laborers off doing a lot of work when they need to be helping your town run more efficiently, gathering coal, getting iron, moving baskets, stuff like that. As far as um, the efficiency of your workforce goes, there's several ways to look at it. Um, there's, the small details, and there's the big picture efficiency. Um, if you're building at the top of a map, on a large map especially, and you're building at the bottom of the map, that's a pretty big area. That's a pretty big area. You'll have walking deaths. You'll have freezing and hunger deaths from walking. It'll happen. It happens far less with stone roads. You don't have to put stone roads, everywhere. If you have a huge population, like number crunchers are gonna want. They're gonna want stone roads everywhere. But just stone roads in this situation, this is where you might want to build here, you know, a main road from the top to the bottom, pretty much, on these long treks. It'll help. I don't think it won't make a huge difference, but it will make some difference. One thing to remember is there's guys out there that talk about the number crunching and the efficiency of how close buildings are and how much you're walking and stuff like that. But there's another part of it too. They're intertwined. Efficiencies are intertwined. An example would be, let's just pretend that 4 woodcutters can supply 63 houses. Let's just pretend for a minute that they can do that. Alright, that's all well and good until you run out of codes. Then they need more firewood specifically for warming their houses. I mean, if that's what you're using to fuel your houses, then they're going to burn more of it. If you run out of tools, they're going to make less firewood. So the efficiency is intertwined. It's something you got to remember. It's something you can't overlook. You have to notice these things early. You have to adjust accordingly. You have to adjust, early. You have to adjust well before they actually happen most of the time. Sometimes you can get away with it later, but I don't know which. You can look it up on the forums about what type of crops, are faster, slower, things like that. Like I said, on a small population, things like that aren't as important. When you build a city, the bigger it gets, the more inefficient it gets. That's why the guys number crunch like they do, because they're going for bigger cities, or they're going for something specific, so they want to get the best possible bills that they can come up with. But for a struggling player, that's not a big deal, really. It's more really important to learn how the game works, the basic rules. The basic rules are no fuel, they freeze. No food, they starve. They're not going to die from not having tools. They're not going to die from not having coats or iron or stone. But not having these things can snowball into not having food or fuel. So it's a balancing act. Labor force is important. I see many cities without a good labor force, and this is not good. It really isn't. You want a good labor force. It does several things. If you do have a problem and you do have die off, then you ain't got to worry about jobs not being filled. Um, but more importantly, is they keep your city running smoother, more efficient, which is the goal. Um, Most of the time on these starts of these, he's got 126 iron. Tools. And most of the time, when I'm saving a city, the first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of everybody's job, so I can put people in better positions. Better numbers. Um, it's hard to say. I'm not. This is not the best way to maybe to do this. Maybe it is. I don't know. But there's probably better ways. Um, but I do it this way. That's just how I do it. I want a good labor force, and I want to micro manage the situation when I'm in trouble. And this guy's in trouble. You can see where this is going. It's a big fight. Production is down. Um, he's probably getting, and he was building houses, so it's just a matter of time before the starvation sets in. So what we'll do is try to, stop that on this game. Hopefully, you can pick up a little bit, but from here on out, it's just going to be me just preparing the save. Um, it really doesn't matter how you do this, I don't guess. People have different methods. If you find one that works for you, that's fine. But you still, everything I've said, it's pretty important. You can't just put it on auto and not pay attention. You got to pay attention to what's going on. You need to be playing. If you're struggling, you need to be playing on 2. To be honest, if you're struggling, if you're having any kind of starvation, you need to be playing on 2. I'll just go ahead and say it. There's guys out there that can play on 10 and don't have any trouble. Hats off to them. They're good players. But anyway, I'm going to keep working on this city a little bit. I'm not in my other game. I left the city just like it was, and this one I'm gonna build some buildings. Not really much, but it's winter time. Don't need farmers. You need non-seasonal food gatherers, and what that means is farming is a seasonal food. You're only going to get it during harvest. Pastures, fisheries, gathering huts, hunters, that's year round. If you depend on food a lot, if you build your town around farms, wait, I said if you depend on food, of course you depend on food. If you depend on farms a lot, if you if you build your town with a lot of farms and very little of the other, then you really have to pay attention. You really need to understand farms. If you don't, it's going to happen. You'll have something will go wrong somewhere, if you don't know what you're doing, or it just happens. Um, I need to put tailors to work. He's only got 6. Remember what I said. Too few tailors, run out of coats, you're gonna burn more firewood. Coal is used as fuel to warm houses too, and it's all used for making steel tools. So right now we got a problem with firewood. So that means we're gonna have a problem with fuel. But we got enough coal to help that situation. We don't really need tools at the moment because we got 126, and we got a big labor force. They'll come pick this stuff up. I like a healthy population, so we'll turn that back on, and we'll get the he's got 550 wool in here, which that's okay, but we're going to reduce it a little bit just so he'll have some in his inventory, more in his inventory. And he's got 86, which is probably plenty, but I like a little safety, so we'll put this at 300. 300 to be enough if a trade ship comes in that can make things easier. But anyway, education is 0. Yeah, that sucks. But guess what? It ain't the end of the world. It ain't the end of the world. I don't know how far you can build your city without education. It'll be totally it'll have some bad efficiency here and there, but you can still build it. That you can still build it. There's going to be a cap. There's going to be a limit to how high you can get with the uneducated. Just like anything else, there's always a limit everywhere. So that just happens. Some things to be aware of is miners wear out tools faster, so you'll have to keep an eye on all your stuff. Oops. Wait a second. I got some. Thought something was wrong there. Anyway, so the laborers, they're running around picking this stuff up. As you can see, logs are low, so you're gonna have a firewood problem. And he was harvesting, a bunch of wood and stuff up here, and that iron, and he needs it. But I'm just gonna cut it from right here. Let the foresters right here replant it. And I'm gonna harvest some from right here. Give them woodcutter something to chop up. Still got a huge, already spring now. Still got a huge labor force. Now is when I put them on um, farms. Um, you don't have to put them on orchards. Orchards don't need anybody to grow. They just need somebody to harvest. So, but plenty of labor here. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on the orchards. I'm gonna leave them enabled. So it's no big deal. But you could, if you wanted, you got 48 laborers, you could still put a few farms here and there. Um, as you notice, logs are building up. That's a good thing. But what you really want to do at this point probably is get your food going. That doesn't require a harvest. He's got a lot of good spots here he can do this. As you can see, you can get a hunting cabin and another gatherer's hut over here. I built a couple of, this is a good place for fishing, so I like fishing docks. So but I don't know if you noticed or not that nobody's starving to death. There's some people hungry. There might be a couple of people walking around that might starve to death from playing top to bottom, but it's okay. You could dump these down to, wanted to maybe, well, I've already put some of them down, so. But, after you get things in better shape, you can turn them back up. Let them replenish. Wood is getting on up there. I don't have builders yet, but that's okay. They got to take stuff to these buildings so they can build them. But pretty much, I mean, this city there's really nothing wrong with the city. Sure, the efficiency is, not there, not great. But that doesn't really kill a city. It just caps a city on how big it's going to get. I mean, very early in the game, you can't have really bad efficiency, or you don't have the population. A population dial very early in the game would be, pretty bad. So, but this town is, it's really good. There's nothing wrong with this town. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I guess he didn't know what exactly to do to offset, what was getting ready to happen with this spike he got in his production. I guess that happens, But other than that, I really don't. I don't know why the guy gave up. I guess some people don't, they don't grasp it, and they just give up. But hopefully this video will help him a little bit. Just maybe it might just be enough to get him, to give it another try. Maybe somebody else will see it, and hopefully, they'll they'll say, okay, so next time my population dies off, I can, hopefully I have a save before it starts happening a little bit, and I can stop it before it happens, or, you know, even if it does start happening, if you do have people start dying, you can still apply all this stuff, and you'll be fine. You know, it might reset things a little bit, but so anyway, I hope this video helps that guy. I probably should talk about efficiency a little bit more, but maybe I'll just do a tutorial just on that. But I'm not a number cruncher like some guys are, so I kind of tend to build some messy cities. I'm not a great planner. Um, this is nice right here. Got steel tools and some coal. Buy some steel tools, you don't have to worry about it so much. Buy some coal. That'll help with building steel tools because your firewood's starting to build back up. So, let's see what the wool's at. Not a whole lot of wool, extra wool coming in, so dang. Dang. I ain't gonna worry about the coal. But anyway, oh, that's as much as I can help, I think. This guy, maybe he'll give it another try. Anyway, good luck. Anybody with feedback or comments, I'm have no problem. Anyway, see ya.